isn't that true? Doesn't check up in time.
Yeah, just unfortunate. Qualified bad and got back there with all the guys. But as long as driving okay yesterday and happy, just you know, being out this early, really don't know what we had. But tell Devin and the kids I'm okay. But you know, it's just it's been one of those kind of years. You know, we just haven't been able to get things rolling, and it's not from a lack of effort. The guys are working hard. It just seems like we can't get things going.
In a press release this week, Jason stated, Atlanta has never been very kind to me. It hasn't been again today, guys.
It definitely continues on. We saw a pass for the lead while we were talking to Jason Keller as Kyle Busch takes that 5 car to the front.
And now Truex, second place driver in the 8, beginning to feel some pressure. Harvick in the 29 and Biffle in the 60. Close it in.
Yeah, look, Biffle looking pretty good up there on the high line. Marty?
Wally, at the epicenter of all that was Mike McLaughlin. So what started the wreck? We haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, that's a good question. Until I look at the replay, I can't really say what happened. I was under the 20. Felt he had plenty of room there. It was definitely a lane. Next thing I know, I was turning to the right. So usually when that happens, you've been clipped from the center of the car back anyway to turn you that direction. So not really sure. I'll look at it and go from there. But you know, it's just a short day. Hate it for the Marine Corps. Do my best to get that baby up front. Just didn't get that far along in the program.
And I talked to Mike McLaughlin this morning. We talked about, well, you talked about a lot of the drivers complaining about being loose getting in and that twitchy feeling. He did not. He said my car was terrific getting in, so he could have a very good day today.
Pretty good race for second going on here.
Well, yes. Biffle in the 60 car is closed right on the back of Truex in 8. All right. Biffle's looking pretty good early, Matt.
Working all over the back of that 8 car, BP. Under the caution, he told Brad Parrott, his crew chief, the car was dancing around a little bit at the start, so I just took it cautious, but you can see he is quickly moving to the front. In fact, Brad Parrott told me this morning, this car has been so good all weekend. This morning, they made one change, BP, for today's race, a slight camber change.
They usually make about 6 or 7 small changes. If their car is perfect, they make 6 or 7 small changes.
Wrapping up, sorry, Juan.
Just to say, if you have a good car handle, that handles here, you don't want to mess with it too much. If it comes off the truck in good shape, you don't want to tweak it too much because it's so hard to get a car that handles good around here.
Here's a guy that's flying. Robbie Gordon in that 55. He started way back in 21st place, BP. He's up to 7th.
Tell you one thing, that 38 car is no slouch. You ever see Biffle finally gets on the inside of Truex and goes to 2nd?
He'll be going to 1st here in a little while.
It looks like he's pretty quick right now.
Defending winner of this race, Greg Biffle, won it a year ago. Mixing it up for 4th place on back.
Harvick loses a spot to Shane Meal in the 32, and here comes Stremme in 14 trying to get by.
Now, you know Stremme doesn't want to see that 32 car in front of him very long.
Movement this week in the NASCAR Busch Series. David Stremme signing with Fitz Bradshaw Racing, a team owned by Terry Bradshaw and Armando Fitz. The Navy Recruiting Command sponsorship re-upped, and they signed a technology deal, an engineering support deal for engines and so on with the Ganassi Racing team.
With Felix Sabates, Armando's father-in-law. Makes sense to me.
And on the other side of the coin, Shane Meal replacing David Stremme in the 23 for Todd Braun's racing team. And Shane Meal being the son of Steve Meal, the technical director for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. They're going to switch to Chevrolets for next season and run DEI engines.
Makes sense to me.
Sounds like it's all coming together. How about the 14 car, Matt?
Well, Jay Guy, the crew chief, told me really their goal is to win races and run up front. And his role is a little bit different this weekend. He's the bridge for David to relate to the Chevrolet. Randy Cox, who is his crew chief over the 32 car, came with Stremme, and he's the bridge for David to relate to Jay Guy, trying to speed up that learning and chemistry process between driver and crew chief.
So they got translators. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, BP.
Right.
Stremme gets a spot, 6th spot. And here we go. Yeah, as I was saying earlier.
Wow. Now that was a powerful move coming off turn 4. Biffle did. The 60 turned left and drove under the 5 and said, okay, Kyle, you've had your turn. It's my turn.
Looks like he got the 5 a little bit loose getting off before there. Got up behind him and took some air off the spoiler. In the meantime, here comes Truex in a hurry.
Lap 20, Greg Biffle to the point. By the way, wrapping up the first caution, Johnny Sauter declined our request for an interview. There is a new leader in the Rd30 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Big time. Matt Kenseth, the 17 car, has fought his way to the front and is now pulled out to a 2 1/4 lead on Casey Kane.
It's just been going back and forth. It's been odd here to get guys that run really, really good for 5 or 6 laps, and all of a sudden here comes somebody else, and
away he goes.
And away he goes, and away Matt goes.
So Matt Kenseth out in front of Kane. Now Mark Martin up to 3rd, Kyle Busch 4th, and Martin Truex Jr. 5th. At the racetrack this weekend and throughout the rest of the near future, you're going to see a lot of blue wristbands around the speedway. It is called Life is a Team Sport. It's a wristband to benefit the Hendrick Marrow program, and it's a way a lot of the people here are showing their support for the Hendrick family. You can get one by making a donation to the Hendrick Marrow program, and if you'd like to find out more, go to NASCAR.com. I know we've all got one on, and another way of letting everyone know we're thinking of it.
Yes. And I tell you what, I'm impressed with this 41 car, Reed Sorensen. He has gone by Truex Jr., the 8, right behind Busch in the 5. Man, oh man, this is a battle for the 4th position. Marty?
Yeah, BP, if you had Brian Patty barking in your ear the entire first part of the run saying, don't go now, don't go now, save your stuff for the end of the run. When they tested here last week, he ran over 320 miles during the test. They wanted to make sure that he was good at the end of the run. It worked. Car's awfully good right now, isn't it, BP?
Yes, it is. It's fantastic.
Wally and I were looking at the same thing in that last set of corners. One thing you better keep an eye out for is not going too low in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, you don't want to get below that white line on the bottom and get the apron, and that's going to really send the car for a spin up the racetrack.
See him
and he's right
that.
there.
Oh,
he's
boy.
right down on it, so gotta be careful.
Race leader we hear is getting ready to come to pit road.
Matter of fact, there we see him going by Gus Washington in 10. Marty, what about the 17? How much longer?
He's having fun. They were going to come down this time. They're going to come down next time, or actually right now for the 17. Matt said on the radio, look at all the fun we would have missed if we would have qualified well. He had fun coming up through the field. Clearly has the fastest car. They're going to make small adjustments on this pit stop, BP.
Okay.
I would. I would make big ones.
Yeah, exactly. Real small ones.
Teams are allowed to change 3 sets of tires under caution today, but this, a green flag stop, won't count against that total, Marty.
That's right, Alan. So they're going to change tires here. It'll be a 4-tire change for the 17 bunch car. They're a little bit loose, as we talked about earlier. Half around down on the track bar, half pound down the right rear tire. That should tighten it up just a little bit for Matt. In fact, he said on the radio to Cully, his crew chief, don't do much, just do a little bit because we're close. Matt?
And Greg Biffle came on the radio, said, it's like I flipped a light switch. My car was great, and then it was horrible. The car just feels like we have no grip in the front. They're going to make a significant wedge adjustment and shuffle the air pressure. You can take a look at that left front tire. You can see how he has worn right down to the radio, that outside shoulder to Marty.
Reed Sorensen just a little bit tight at the end of that run, but Brian Patty decided to make no changes to the chassis, so it'll be 4 tires. The only thing Reed wanted was a tear away from the windshield, and he got it. A bag is stuck on the front hood. That won't... Oh, man, makes contact with Tim Fiedel leaving pit road.
The bag might not be a problem, but that might be.
Yep.
And because of the huge differential in speed in fresh tires and older tires, as soon as Matt Kenseth made that first move to pit road, here they all came.
Sure.
Looks like the grill is caved in just a little bit, but I don't think anything else. Let's take a look here.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just got the grill.
Yeah, just left upper grill. Marty?
BP, that was the discussion on the 5 teams radio that Matt Kenseth forced everybody else's hand here. Car 2 loose for Kyle Busch. They went down 1 round on the track bar. They also pulled a spring rubber from the right rear spring. That should tighten it up. Matt?
The 38 is down and away. They made a track bar adjustment and air pressure adjustment. He was too tight in traffic. Meanwhile, the championship point leader was in also. They made a wedge adjustment for Martin Truex Jr.
Casey Kane and Truex Jr. away. That puts the race lead in the hands of Mark Martin for now, yet to make his pit stop. Then it'll be Jamie McMurray, Michael Waltrip. And here comes Mark in.
Along with the 59 car, Stacy Compton marched slowly 45 miles per hour down pit road. A speed limit. You must maintain 45, otherwise you'll get busted for speeding. It's a lap.
Matt.
BP, Mark Martin just pulls to a stop with the 9. We told you earlier he was calling for a slight air pressure adjustment in the right rear tire. Good stop going so far as Rambo Liberati watching over things. The tick slow in the left rear. It's full of fuel. Almost rolls off the jack, and he's away, Dave.
Jamie McMurray's car very tight. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment to help that car turn better in the corners. A 4-tire stop and fuel for this team.
So McMurray away.
Man, 14.3, that's a good pit stop.
So that's going to send the cycle of things back around to Matt Kenseth, who will be the race leader. It's been a good week for Reed Sorensen, but his happy times at the front of this Aaron's 312 may be over shortly.
He's got Matt Kenseth back on the door. That's about what happened last time with Matt. He ran 25, 30 laps or so on his tires. It seemed like he passed everybody.
Stay focused, okay? 32 flags.
The only thing that leader's got to worry about, he's got that open grill right now, and he doesn't need anything going through there and putting a hole in the radiator.
That's right. Marty Snyder reported to us that on the pit stop, they tried to pull a piece of tape or something off the front of the car where he made contact with another car, and they pulled the grill opening. So there's nothing to keep debris from going in against the radiator, is there, Marty?
That's exactly right, BP. They actually were doing it with a wire brush. They were just trying to clean it, and they accidentally pulled the bottom left grill off. Is that a big problem, you think, or something to be worried about?
Yeah, if somebody gets in front of him and kicks a rock up, they can go right through.
And that a little bit of concern on Brian Patty's part. He's also trying to keep Reed focused ahead of him. He said, drive out of your windshield, not out of your mirror. He thinks he's looking too much in his rearview mirror. And Brian is coaching him. That was the radio you just heard a second ago. Every lap, he's like a football coach, like he sends in a play. Calm down, concentrate, keep your marks. Don't worry about the guys behind you. Worry about what's in front of you. Remember, he's only 18 years old. 5 months ago, he was worried about graduating from high school. Now he's trying to keep the lead in the race at Atlanta.
But you see, Marty, that's the whole point. He is 18 years old, and that's Matt Kenseth, last year's Nextel Cup champion behind him. Just got to look in the mirror.
You'll have momentum off the corner here.
He doesn't care.
No.
You guys remember the first time you get out in a race with some of your racing idols, people you look up to, read about that kind of thing, what it was like the first time? Not just you were out on the track with him, but you competed with him.
I was just crushed that Richard Petty turned me around coming off going in turn 3. Did turn me around, actually just kind of bumped me up, got me out of the groove.
Said you were in the way, kid?
Yeah.
DP said that to me a lot. This is my first race I ran here. You were my spotter. And I heard a lot of, don't run there.
Casey Kane trying to track down Greg Biffle for 4th place. The both of them trying to do something with Kyle Busch in the 5 for 3rd. And for the lead.
And Kenseth leads that lap, and is he going to maintain it? Looks like he is.
Man, that car is awfully good on older tires. Man, that's when you want your car good here.
Boy, had to go low to make the pass for the lead, then swing up high in the first corner to get around the lap traffic. And still probably run a pretty good lap time. So Matt Kenseth looking for his 3rd NASCAR Busch Series win of the season. He has never won here in Atlanta, but he's got a pair of runner-up finishes to his credit. Sorensen back to 2nd, Marty.
And he's been screaming loose for the last few laps, and then finally Brian Patty said enough. Let the 17 pass you. Now he's back to 3rd, and see if he can learn something from those guys when they do go past you.
That's interesting there. Biffle goes by Gus Washington 10 as Casey Kane tries to get by Biffle.
All right, I'm a little better than you down low.
Yeah, he is. 38 car Casey Kane's been running down there quite a bit last 15, 20 laps and been making up some ground.
Hey, Matt, how was the tires on the 38 car? Are they okay?
Look good, BP. Down in 1 and 2, he takes the high side. Down in 3 and 4, he works better down low. Remember back to that lap 97 pit stop. Trouble on the left front. Deluxe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he came on the radio about 15 laps ago and said, are you guys sure you got all the lugs tight? Paul Andrews said, absolutely. Paul said, I'm assuming you're saying you got a vibration. Casey says yes. He is quick. He is moving back up to the front, but he's also working with a vibration.
Well, that's not good.
That is definitely not good. You're so concerned when you have these great pit stops that did they get all the lug nuts tight, because these drivers, if they aren't, they can feel that wheel. You can feel the vibration as that wheel wobbles down the straightaway.
Yeah, and you know what it is. You know the wheel's coming loose.
And when it's wobbling, that's just going to lead to bigger problems.
Yes. Now, Kevin Harvick on the inside of Sorensen is a lap down, and there's nothing he'd like better to do than...
I was going to say, not for long, I don't think.
You don't think so?
Let's see.
Restart with 63 laps to go. Make it 62. Hearing from pit road that most of these guys should be good to the finish on fuel.
Oh, who is that? Gliding up there.
Is that Mike Walsh before the red flag?
It was. He went sliding.
Well, Harvick couldn't get it done, but here comes Busch on the outside. Off turn 4. Yo, baby!
I'm out there.
New leader, Kyle Busch. I believe the one that was doing all the sliding was Jamie McMurray in the 66.
Okay.
He is being admonished by NASCAR for creating a problem in the pack.
Truex goes by the 8 car. Sorensen moves him back to 3rd.
So apparently that looseness is not completely fixed on his car.
He had his hands
looks
full, I'm
of it.
sure. Wow, look at this. This guy's trading some paint in this crowd at 180 plus miles an hour. Harvick sliding back through the center of that crowd, it looks like.
Casey Kane, the 38 car, trying his best to get through this crowd of cars. Also Mark Martin in the 9.
Whoa, look at Casey up on the high side.
Mark kind of pinned in behind Robert Presley's car.
Jimmy gets by. Looks like Biffle might get by. He does. And Mark finally gets back in line in about the 9th position.
You just think of the problem for some of these guys right now. In that jam up they had in traffic when McMurray went for the slide back through, some of the first few cars got away. And if that was the last pit stop and the last set of tires you've gotten, now you got some ground to make up. Matt?
Alan, down here in Mark Martin's pit, I caught up with Rambo Liberati. What is going on with you and these tires, Rambo? You've been running up and down pit road.
Well, we don't got a tire shortage, but we don't have enough tires to finish the race. If we get a caution early, we're going to run out of tires. We don't got no tires on the wall. We only got a certain amount of sets. Goodyear brought us to them. Usually we get extra or we can buy some early, but they didn't have enough for us to do that. So we got to go around and try to get some. Right now I got some coming from the 60. They're 2-lap scuffs, and he's got one set of 2-lap scuffs, and I got another set. So I think we're going to be okay. I mean, we're running pretty good. We're running about 8th or 9th. On the long run, we're real good. That Coleman transmission car's running good, and hopefully, if everything goes all right, we can keep going because we'll be good on that long run. But if we can't, we got us a set of tires now.
They are in good shape now. Mark Martin was not a happy camper when he found out that their next best set of tires was 19-lap scuffs, guys.
Yeah, I was told this morning that
19 laps. I don't think there's scuffs after 19 laps.
They're about worn out. Yeah. I was told this morning that some concern about these teams not being able to get their hands on possibly enough tires. Today, been lucky that we've had some long green flag runs, because if it had a caution flag every 30 or 40 laps, like if they do tomorrow in the Nextel Cup, they'll change tires every time. Today they can only do it 3 times on a caution flag. But
Truex, a little loose there down on the bottom of the racetrack.
Little bobble for the 8 car. Reed Sorensen in the 41 trying to do something with the championship leader. And there's Matt Kenseth again, kind of lurking in the shadows.
Exactly.
and Reed Sorensen goes to 2nd spot. Marty, this 41 kid is really impressive.
He's doing a great job, BP, and the pit crew's doing a great job, too. The last 2 stops, 14.1 and 14.9. It's a little too loose to start at the beginning of the run. They put a 1/4 pound in the right front. Ryan Patty said, I don't know if he'll notice the difference. I just feel a lot better doing it. Matt?
Marty, back on lap 97, Martin Truex said the car is just bad loose. I can barely hang on to it. Bono Mannion made a lot of adjustments between air pressure, put a spring rubber in the left rear, wedge, track bar, you name it, a number of adjustments, and that car has really come to life. They were talking about making a slight air pressure adjustment on that last stop if he's got a battle for the lead.
Sorensen's working on it on that low side. His car just hooks along the bottom, especially right here in 1 and 2. He gets below that white line.
If you're wondering about the future of NASCAR, you're looking at it. 18 years old and 19 years old racing for the lead in Atlanta.
Now, the 5 car's trying to get him off the bottom. And he did, but can he do anything with him? Answer is nope.
So Reed Sorensen
Like you did there.
out in front.
Don't have to drop the car.
That's Brian Patty.
31.77. Stay focused, dude.
Meantime, Kenseth's just sitting there letting them come back to him because his car is so good after 15, 20 laps on tires.
And for 2nd place, I thought he had a run on him there.
I did too.
Being patient.
Matt Kenseth, patient?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Can
so.
you believe that?
I think so. Not quite, but nose to nose for 2nd place. Wow, Kyle really had to drive that 5 car up the top of the hill.
And finally, the 17 car slides up into that 2nd spot.
So now the defending Nextel Cup champion chasing the 18-year-old rookie here in Atlanta. Reed Sorensen, the 18-year-old from Forest Park, Georgia, still leading the Rd30 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway as we approach the 250-mile mark in search of what would be his first NASCAR Busch Series win.
Well, he likes that bottom, doesn't he?
Oh, he loves it.
I mean, some of these guys run the bottom on, you know, maybe half the racetrack.
That's what I was talking about a little bit ago when Kyle Busch, when he passed Busch and he got underneath him and moved him up off the bottom. Kyle was just trying to see how fast he could run off, and he was pretty fast.
Reed Sorensen trying to become the youngest driver ever to win a NASCAR Busch Series race. Marty, he's out front. Let's go through the field.
He's doing an excellent job hugging that bottom line of the racetrack. The car pretty good now. They did the 1/4 pound air pressure adjustment because it came in too slow on the last run. Came in real quickly on this one. Reed currently in the lead. Brian Patty coaching him every lap. The man behind him, though, is coming. Matt Kenseth getting better every lap. And it's almost like Darlington out here. Matt's talking about saving his tires so he can make a run at the end of this run trying to win the race. Kyle Busch said they are good on fuel now. They did ask him to save under the last caution. He's a little bit tight in 3 and 4. They made a very small air pressure adjustment on the last stop trying to get him some more forward bite. Matty.
And here comes Casey Kane. They had that left front wheel vibration. That was the only thing wrong with the car. He's turning the fastest laps of anybody on the racetrack. He is up to 4th. saying really not much about the race car. The guy behind, number 8, Martin Truex Jr. in 5th. They made an air pressure adjustment. The car was just not as tight at the end of the run as it needed to be. And David Stremme, debut in the 14 car. What a great run. 4 tires and scuffs and an air pressure adjustment in the right front in the last stop. He says the car is just a little tight down in 3 and 4. They can make it on fuel. And Mark Martin has the tires he needs. If he needs them, he's 6.5 seconds back in the 8th position. And his teammate, Greg Biffle in the 60 car, his car is just going back and forth. Tight, loose. They pulled a spring rubber in the left rear at the last stop, and Brad Parrott made a significant air pressure adjustment on the right side tires on his last stop. And then Mark Martin, who ran the ASA race last night, running Busch today and Nextel Cup tomorrow, running in the 8th position in the 9 car. Marty?
Good job, Matt. That was a lot of cars to cover. Robbie Gordon, Robbie Gordon is sliding all over the place, he says, and it became official on Tuesday. He will run his own Cup team next year in addition to this car. So he'll run the Busch and Cup Series out of his own garage next year. Pretty impressive for Robbie Gordon and his bunch. Kenny Wallace has had an outstanding second half of this race. They were very loose early in the race. They made no adjustments on the last top. Car's been pretty good for Kenny the last few laps. He finished 9th with this car just a few weeks ago at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Matty?
Tony Gibson working on the 11th car for Paul Menard. They're running in the 11th position. He was running the high groove earlier. Then the car was free. They've made some adjustments here and there. The last stop, he was tight at the start. They made an air pressure adjustment to try to free him up a little more. And the 18, J.J. Yaley, another young driver, trying to just log some laps, get some experience, still really, really loose. They're talking about 4 rounds of wedge when they pit the next time. Dave, join the fun.
Still here, Matt, believe it or not. The 21 of Clinton Boyer made a pit stop on lap 96. Track bar adjustment helped that car from a little tight to very good. They became the lucky dog on lap 136 caution, got back on the lead lap, made no changes on the car at that time. It's running pretty good. Tony Stewart's had a tight race car. It is still tight, even after a wedge adjustment on the last stop. Also, the vent tube was pushed into the trunk, but it didn't really matter when they got it fixed because they were already the last car on the lead lap. He rolls along. Alan, boy, am I worn out. Back to you.
I think somebody's going to have to sit Matt down and give him a little oxygen there for a minute. Some drama in the late laps in Atlanta. The championship leader is in trouble as he slows, he sheds some debris and brings out the caution flag.
He's got left rear flat tire right now, and
he keeps going.
Come apart, yeah.
And he keeps going, did not stop and change it. And you're right, we just hope it doesn't come apart and tear up the rest of the car.
Martin Truex Jr. running 6th in the race at the time, came on the team's radio in the middle of turns 3 and 4, said, I've got a flat.
Now, some contact here possibly with the 14 car of David Stremme. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I guess.
That will cut a tire.
And once again, they get together.
Second one was out of frustration. I think the first one, Stremme just slid up. He lost it. Car got loose. He lost it. He went up into Truex, and then this one was just out of frustration here.
On board to Mark Martin as he watches that. And he sees the 8 car, the tire going flat.
So that happened, Truex obviously in turn 3 by the time he began to realize he had the problem, was by the pit road opening.
Stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out.
Man, I'll tell you what, I hope that tire does not come apart.
I wonder why you do that. He's staying out because pit road is closed, but there's only 13 cars on the lead lap. If he tears the car up,
yeah.
Matt, what are they thinking?
Bono thinks he is the lucky dog, and he's double checking with NASCAR, and he didn't want to pit if he was indeed the lucky dog. Right now he's talking with a NASCAR official. You can see the left rear is flat. He's consulting.
But isn't it, if you're the cause of it, if you're the cause of the yellow, you don't get the lucky dog, right?
That's my understanding, but there's the tire starting to come apart.
If you are the reason for the yellow and you become the car first lap down, one lap down, you don't become the lucky dog.
Right, but he's not the first car one lap down anyway.
Well, he was until just that last deal.
Marty.
Tires so critical, Alan, you almost have to stop here in the middle of your screen. Matt Kenseth said do not clean the grill. 4 tires, no chassis changes. Bottom of your screen, Kyle Busch, who now gets a big break in terms of the championship. A little bit loose, half pound on the right rear tire. Matt?
And the 38, Casey Kane is in. No chassis adjustments. Coming around to the left side. Told us guys we need a good, solid stop. No mistakes. We need a mistake-free performance. And good stop out of 38. He's away.
And looks like he's going to...
not going to get it. Kenseth beat him.
Man, that was close.
And remember that Mark Martin's team was scrambling around to find a set of tires in case the caution came out late. Aren't they glad they did?
And Kenseth does beat 38 car Kane out by a half car length.
All right, we'll figure out what's going on with Martin Truex and where he's going to be in the rundown in a moment. Under caution here in Atlanta in the closing laps.
Green. Clear all around.
11 laps to go.
Battle for second spot.
This could get ugly.
We see the 5 car of the Kyle Busch trying to take over that second spot.
Yeah, before Casey Kane can do anything with Matt Kenseth, he better hang on to second place first. Paul Menard being black flagged, passing to the left on the restart, and we check with Marty.
Kyle Busch trying to take the second position now, and his crew chief Lance McGrew said, hey, the 8's had problems today. This could be a big picture day. We could gain a lot of points. Kyle said, I'm not worried about that. I want to win this race. That's all I care about right now.
Well, he's trying. He's trying his best.
Remember the 5 car, one of the Hendrick Motorsports cars.
Yeah.
Meantime, though, well, Kenseth is getting a little bit out there, but he's not exactly driving.
Oh, trouble, turn 3. Oh, Menard, Paul Menard, and others.
Fedua.
Where is the 8 car? Did he get through?
Is that him coming off? Is that him?
I'm looking for the championship leader.
He spun.
The 72.
Got into
Guy
it.
started over at 3.
He got a
He's
piece
still
of it.
rolling, but
Talk to me. Joey, tell me damage. I see the left side. All your tires look up.
Bono Mannion, the crew chief, asking for a spotter.
Somebody just clean me out.
I'm gonna predict what happened here. Menard was slowing down to get to the black flag, and the pack behind him didn't see it.
there you see the 11 car down on the bottom. No, actually, yeah, he just got loose there.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I thought would have happened too, but he did it in front of a lot of cars.
You see Randy LaJoy, I guess, gets tagged from behind, turned around right in front of the 12 of Fedua.
All right, but where's
He got loose getting into the corner.
Where's the 8 in that mess? How do you get
Back.
backed up?
He's a little bit further back. I think he got run into or something by the looks of it, because he wound up over on the apron.
Right there he goes. No,
No,
that's not
that's
him.
not him. He's still to the right.
Yeah. The 12 car comes down, and I think Menard thought he was going to come on down, and he kind of stood on the brakes to avoid hitting the 21 car and spun himself out. Jumped off the gas, hit the brakes, and that'll spin you out almost every time.
LaJoy and Fedua. Big hit there. Boston Reed slides through the middle in the 87.
And there was Blake Feast in 00.
Marty's guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just trying to avoid hitting the 21 car and spun himself out. All right, where's the 8? Hornaday goes through.
I think 8's still to the right. I think he's down there.
Yep.
Okay, he's on the apron, and he got popped in the back.
By 72, Kevin LePage, I believe.
Michael Waltrip's view. He's seen a couple of these today from this angle. Go ahead, Matt.
Bono just told his guys, make sure everybody has on a fire suit and a helmet when they go over the wall so they don't get a penalty. Haskell Lavalette has a hammer. Sammy's got a baseball bat and a hammer. And Slugger Labby has helped them make a piece of aluminum to go over the fender. They also have some big pieces of tape to see if they can fix the cosmetic damage of this car. They are out of tires, so they cannot change tires.
So he may have flat spots on those tires, Matt, just because he spun them.
He doesn't think he flat spotted them, even though he spun around. He does not think he flat spotted them. Joey Meyer, his spotter, also telling Bono about the damage as the 8 car comes to a stop. Now they're going to take their time, go around. As you can see them trying to work on that right rear corner panel and making some cosmetic improvements to that left front corner.
That just goes to show you how important the front of these cars are, because the first thing they did was dive and just fix the front air dam or front air valence.
Now, when the field gets here, they're going to get the 1 to go signal, Benny and Wally, so there's going to be a 5-lap race to the finish if we don't get any overtime.
Going to put another piece of tape, Alan, on that left front corner. Now, Slugger Labby, who is leaning on the wall, a new position for Slugger, kind of helping out with the Busch program and that 1 Cup car, helping Bono. And he's away as they've made some cosmetic improvements to this car. What a day for this team. They are, what are they, 14th?
Yeah, 13th, Matt. But still on the lead lap.
Yeah, the only good thing, well, the good thing about it now in the restart will be a single file restart, which avoids a lot of these problems when you've got restarts towards the end of the races.
2 laps to the checkered flag in Atlanta.
Matt got a good jump.
He did. He got a great start. But does that give the 5 car just a good run at him down the backstretch? There's no backing off. Wide open to that corner. Both those cars.
Yeah, you'll see the 5 car close up on the back of the 17. Look at that thing go down straightaways. Wow.
Coming to the white flag.
There's an opening there. Can he get on the bottom? Can he get to the bottom? Not quite.
Final lap, Kenseth and Kyle Busch. Casey Kane not a factor for now.
This is where he's been better. Matt's been better in 3 and 4. Here's where Busch has been better, 1 and 2.
Just can't get there. 1 final set of corners. Kenseth protecting the bottom. Kyle Busch not able to get up and make a move. Matt Kenseth is going to hold on and score the win in the Aaron's 312. Martin Truex able to finish 9th, protect most of his championship lead. Wasn't for a lack of trying on Kyle Busch's part.
No, it wasn't. He wanted it.
But Matt Kenseth picks up his 3rd NASCAR Busch Series win of 2004.
Good job, Kyle Busch and crew, after all that.
28th to victory lane for Kenseth today, Dave.
With Kelly Barraclough, crew chief, and had to do a little more than you thought he might have to hold off at the end there.
I'm more nervous now than I was in the beginning.
How did he do that, Cully?
I think he just held it down to the mat and said, come get me. But I want to wish all the best to the racing families back home. It's kind of a somber, you want to be happy because you won, but every time you put a grin on your face, 2 seconds later you start thinking about it. Makes it kind of hard, but I'm proud of the guys that came and did their job. They had a really good pit stop on the last one. Other than that, happy and sad occasion.
Your championship leader, Martin Truex, came up with a 9th place finish, Matt.
A very, very strong performance there with a 9th place finish, Martin. I know you're frustrated, but big picture-wise, what a rebound today.
Yeah, just, you know, it's the way we've been all year. We don't give up, and just sucks that stuff happens. You know, you get close to cars around here going so fast, and it just sucks you together. And you know, I'm sure David didn't mean to do it, but, you know, it's half my fault for not letting him go. It's half his fault for getting so close to my door, and it just sucks that it happens. But, you know, great day. We had a good car. We battled all day long. We were loose, and we got it good, and we got loose again and got it good again, and just we had a top 5 car, just, you know, circumstances, but overall good day.
9th place finish for the championship point leader, Martin Truex Jr.
And it's win number 3 of the season for Matt Kenseth. We've talked about what an emotional week it's been for everybody in NASCAR racing. It's also been an emotional week for Matt Kenseth, who lost his very, very good friend Randy Dorton in that airplane crash in Virginia. And an emotional win for you, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, the fans get mad when you don't do big burnouts, but today's kind of about respect, you know. There's not a minute that went by all week or, you know, even during the race that we haven't thought about Rick and his family and, you know, Randy Dorton, all people lost. Kind of a sad day.
And you had to hold off Kyle Busch there at the end, too.
Yeah, it was a good race. Our Express Personnel Services Ford handled really well all day, and we were pretty good on a short run, so Cully and all these guys behind me did a good job. I've been on them about their pit stops, and last pit stop they beat the 38 out of the pits, and that's what we needed to win.
He told his guys, you redeemed yourself for that last stop. He said, guys, this car's going to Homestead because we can win the race there, too.
So Matt Kenseth, the winner today, and you look at the championship standings with now 3 races to go in the NASCAR Busch Series season.
And we see that Kyle Busch gained a few points, but not enough with just 3 races to go.
An average 10th place finish for Martin Truex Jr. will do the job in these final 3 races and pick him up the championship for 2004.